All right, so we're recording here, you guys. This is our Monday Mastermind group on a Wednesday with special guest Brooke Lipoff. Brooke, we appreciate you being on with the group today. This Mastermind group is just an excellent group of coaches, always looking to help one another, and they help each other get better, and they share ideas, and they cheer each other on when there's successes, and they lift each other up when there's challenges. But one of the things that we try to do is to help get better and learn new techniques. And not that we can always implement everything that every coach is doing, as we well know. Sometimes we get a lot of good ideas, but we have to stay within the scope of our own capabilities. But one of the things that's come up recently a lot is just being able to keep track of the prospects and the leads and keep them in the right buckets and keep them organized and make sure that there's a system for follow through. And one of the tools for that, of course, is using Streak. And we know that it's something that you've become very proficient at and been training on for a while. And so we appreciate you coming on today to share how you have used this tool in your business, and to be able to kind of share that and then answer any questions or give direction on things that come up for the people in the group. So I'm going to just turn the time over to you, and you can take it away. And then for those participants on the call, definitely if you have questions or places you want to go with the discussion, put it in the chat or just come off mute and help us move along here. As always, this is a discussion, not necessarily a training thing. So
good, because I didn't prepare a thing.
Yeah. All right, Brooke, go ahead.
Hey guys, so if you hear my newborn or my toddler screaming in the background, I'm sorry. I do have childcare today, but doesn't always mean they're quiet. So I did not prepare anything because I know that some of you guys have already started using it or trying to use Streak and everything. So I would rather you guys kind of let me know what you'd like to know about it, and I can of course show you what I've been doing. Something, as far as ideas, I wanted to send this to Craig kind of this last week. I know that a lot of us have been doing the sneak peek groups and having really good success with that. And something that I have kind of run into, and I think Nikki was talking about this as well, is that, over time it kind of dies out. And so something that I personally had been doing is telling my newer coaches, go ahead and start up your own as if it's brand new, and having them kind of run one on their own. And I'm kind of like a fly on the wall in that group. And then if they have questions, I'll say, just put that person in a 3-way chat with me. And it's going really, really well with our new coaches. And my husband, we work the business together. So even though I've had a newborn and stuff, he's been able to jump in and do that. But one thing that I've kind of been doing that I feel like is working really well is on Google Forms is kind of creating almost a landing page, because I always want to do stuff that's duplicatable for my team. And Google Forms is free. You don't have to have a website and all of that. And the Google Form is almost like a landing page for Lift 4, everything they need to know. And at the very end, it says, if you're interested in joining my group, please continue on with the form. So my coaches can easily go in there and just click copy, make a copy, put their name in there if there's anything where they need to change stuff. And then that Google form, once they fill that out, they can upload that to Streak or however they're tracking. And there's all kinds of different ways that you can do that. But that's one thing that I was thinking, man, it'd be awesome if Beachbody had, we had our own landing pages as coaches. As soon as a brand new coach signs up, they have that confidence, I can send people this beautiful landing page that's I can customize and put the info in that I want. And then there's a form at the end. And as soon as that person fills it out, we get sent the email that says, you have a new lead generation or something, so that we can easily be like, oh, so-and-so's interested. Think about how easy that would be with Linktree and all of that. I know there was a disaster with Linktree this week, but I just wanted to throw that out there because I feel like that's been something that here recently I've been doing, and I'm glad to show you the form that I created. But it's basically just here's, Lift 4 video, the stuff that we've been putting in the sneak peek, but one place. Because after that sneak peek is done, there's 20 million different posts everywhere. And so even though I put it in units and everything, I still had people going in there saying, where did I need to find this information? And instead it's just right there. And it's really easy for a brand new coach, if they sign up today, for me to say, hey, go make a copy of this. And when you make your post, anyone who's interested, send them this form, and they don't have to do the explaining or any of that. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. But as far as like streak, what would you guys like me to cover? Do you want me to do the basics that I'm sure a million of you've seen the million YouTube videos of, or what do you want to hear? I mean, I've talked to most of you guys about streak before, I feel like, but if there's like troubleshooting stuff, because I don't want to waste your time, because I know our time is very valuable. Nikki said there's a to-be landing page that ties to your account, but it's not customizable, of course. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, here, let me just show it to you. Do you care if I show you? Do you want me to show you guys or no? Okay. I'll just share real quick. Now let me show it as if somebody was actually going to it. So if I send this to somebody, and this is a different one I'm updating right now for my coaches, but that's the first thing they see is the video by Joel kind of explaining the program. And then there's Christina, results. And then just kind of like, who is Joel? And this is just like the basic stuff that's in the product training. Why does it work? Nutrition plan. And I think, what I've heard from my coaches is they like the fact that these are like highlighted. So if somebody doesn't care how it works, they can just be like, oh, I just want to know about the nutrition. And so sometimes that's hard to find in the Facebook group I'm finding, because people are like, where was the part about how the nutrition plan works? And so what I'm doing is just, I've seen this shared everywhere. So I just went ahead and put that in there and shared some information about that. Gave them one protein list just so they got an idea. The sample plan that we shared in our sneak peek group. And then said, in our group, we have so many meal plan examples. Is meal planning and prepping a struggle for you? And so if somebody's not interested in that, they're just going to scroll by it, like you guys do probably on other landing pages. But if they see that, they're like, oh gosh, like there's going to be these different ideas. And of course, guys, these are not things I've created. These are all from Beachbody blog. And we just have them listed. Cheat day details, what nutritional supplements, and just kind of making it more personable instead of like very infomercially, so that and my idea in this was to connect them with Joel. So by the end, they're like, I want to be in that test group with him, to get them to sign up as a coach. What is so special about Shakeology? I'm not going to go through it all, but anyway, and then of course I say, exclusive test group opportunity with Joel. Here's your perks. Here's how you can be a part of it. And I put our video, like even though you don't have to coach, if you want to, here's some information about coaching. And then right here, I ask, are you interested? So yes, only to be in the test group with Joel, or yes, they actually want to coach, not right now. Then I share more results. And then, are you ready to join me? So if they're ready, then it just goes on to, I've got to click this. If they're ready, then the next part would be, please answer the following questions. And so it's like taking them directly to that Google form so that the coach can go ahead and start getting information from them, our typical Google forms. And then of course I ask, like, do you have Beachbody On Demand? So by the end of this, the brand new coach should be able to be like, they have Beachbody On Demand. It expires within the next 2 to 3 months. They should know what to refer to them. And then of course, like all of their goals, any questions about Lift 4 and stuff like that. So that's kind of something that I've been doing within the last week or so, because honestly, the group was stressing me out a little bit because we had so many people in the group. And for myself, even, I'm like, I just need one page to send everybody to. But if I do, and I kept thinking, if I do a website, then my coaches, like, I can't duplicate that. So I have to stop myself and be like, my coaches aren't going to do a website. A brand new coach, like, they can do this and just click make a copy. I see the chat box. Let's see. Yes, easy to duplicate. Yes. Okay. So you guys can unmute yourselves, because I don't like talking to myself or hearing myself talk. So let me know if you have questions about this. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with Google Forms, but it's very, very customizable. So even the brand new coach, like if they don't like some of the information I put in there, they can absolutely remove it. And this one I just showed you has everything they need to know. So easily they can say, I want to take this out, or they can add their own story, which would be great, teaching our brand new coaches, like as soon as their person goes to this, let me go back. As soon as their person comes to this page, the very first part might be like, why should you listen to me as a coach? Like, who am I? And it'd be so easy. And can you imagine like sending this in an email to all your customers and being like, hey, if you want some more information, check it out here. So it's kind of like a landing page with the Google form built into it, sort of, and it's super easy to duplicate. So let me saw something pop up again.
I love this because it reminds me of, how Melanie Mitro, she always does her blog post, like every time there's a new thing coming up. And this is basically that, but so duplicatable, because I have my coaches, they're like, I could never have a blog and I could never do this. So I really love this.
Yeah. And that's what I was having trouble trying to do it because Wufoo won't let you add video, and then you have to pay on Typeform to get, videos and stuff. So it's like duplicatable. It's not as pretty as all these other things, and it's not as pretty as a blog website with all these things popping up, but I have to think like new coach, not top coach. So as much as I want to make pretty things and that's my thing, I have to be like, okay, where's the bare minimum that we can do here? And what I've heard from my new coaches is they're like, it makes me feel professional. It makes me feel like I'm really a coach. So anyway, Craig, I just wanted to share this, but this is something, I don't know if Beachbody has the capabilities. I feel like we should be able to, but having a customizable landing page for us, and then at the end, if they are interested, we can customize the questions, and then once they fill that out, it just goes directly to our email.
Brooke, do you ever have a problem getting notifications? So when someone fills that out, are you getting an email on Google Docs? Because that's been one of the struggles, is knowing when someone responds. Is it linked to your email?
So there's several different ways you can do this. I personally don't link it to mine, because what you'll do, let me show you. You know how it fills out the responses in a Google form, right? Mm-hmm. So you can just upload that into Google Streak. Like if you have an assistant, it's pretty simple. But if you have Zapier, like Zapier is an attachment or an app that works with Streak, that it will create a box for you and everything if they see a new row being added to your Google form. So you can make that connection happen by setting that up through the apps. I personally don't do it that way, just because I'm fine with going into the Google Sheets, and I like seeing it all in one. Typeform drove me nuts, because when 25 people filled it out, it sent you one email. Wufoo I loved because it separated them all, but Typeform, I just went crazy with that. But yeah, as far as the Google Forms, I haven't had the issue. Like, I don't think you can get an email, but honestly, there's some like crazy things that I feel like Gmail and Google and Chrome can do that I wouldn't be surprised that
you can get an email. You can you can set up a notification, and you can set it so it comes like every time the form is filled out, or like once a day. It's under tools, I think. In the Excel, you have to go to the Excel spreadsheet, and it's under like tools and then notifications, I believe.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You can do it in Google Form, not Excel, or do you have to export it to Excel?
So when you go to wherever the answers, like
Mm-hmm.
wherever the answers are, you create a spreadsheet from the answers. And then from that spreadsheet, you can go up into the tools and the settings and change it.
Awesome.
I thought it was on the actual form. Can you hear me?
Oh, I don't know if you can do it from the form, but I know that you can do it.
I think it's a little add-on thing, and you click the little puzzle piece and configure notifications or something like that.
Click on the pencil right there, Brooke.
Okay, let me go up here. Let's see if it'll let me.
Yeah. So I go under responses.
It's an add-on. You have to do it, like search Google for the add-on for it, and it'll be a little puzzle piece next to the paint thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I always do it this way. And yeah, once you do that add-on, you just click up there, and then it gives you like different ways you can give them confirmation of their response, or yourself, and you can set it to give it to you every time there's a response, or every 10 responses, or whatever you choose.
That's awesome. So whenever it sends you the email, does it also include all of the information they filled out?
You think you have to click, I think it links to it, like you can click the link to see it, but I don't think it's in the actual email itself.
Yeah.
The one that I do is
that's right. It's just, it'll have a link to the Excel spreadsheet that has all the responses to the form.
Okay. Yeah, that was the nice thing about Wufoo, is like you could click on it and all their info is right there. So you could like add it to the boxes really fast. But I mean, I just feel like this is easier for duplication, and for me, it's been easier, I guess. Streak, for non-naturally organized people, how do you even go about figuring out how to start setting this up? Okay, so I will show you a super simple way that I teach my new coaches. First of all, I always tell them, and I'm sure you guys tell yours too, get a different Gmail than their personal, because they'll get really overwhelmed really fast. But you guys can see this screen, can't you? Okay, just making sure. So if you were going to set something up, now this is how my brain works. And I always tell my coaches, like, your brain is going to work completely different in the way that your conversations flow. So think about how their conversations are flowing. Like, some people just need like 2 or 3 boxes. They don't need all these different stages, but for me, this just works. I used to have like different boxes for even like every part I was at in each stage. But at this point, I've just been like, okay, I added them to the sneak peek. So for interested, and I'll show you how to set this up. Like, Becca, did you want to see like how to like techie wise set it up, or like how to set it up as in how do you organize it?
Yeah, so I've gone into Streak like 4 times trying to do this, and I just stare at it confused for like 20 minutes and then give up and then come back 6 months later and try again. Like, my brain cannot wrap around how to make it like effective start out. So I guess just like a little of both, like how do you even start to like categorize and like logistically, but then also like this flow is nice to see.
Okay. So one thing, do you use Excel? Like, what do you use now?
Paper and pencil in a notebook.
So you can actually change this view. So like if this view is not appealing to you, some of my coaches who have used Google Spreadsheet or Excel tend to just like it like this, because it's almost exactly like Excel. It's just you have the different boxes here. So you can change the view. That might help as well. But whenever I tell them to set it up, so like if they were going to set, it doesn't really matter which one of these you choose, but you just create the pipeline. And so when you get in here, so what I've been telling them is the very first one is usually going to be your challenger prospects. And you can decide if you want to create like a different, a different pipeline for every single group that you do, or if you want to have like all your challenger prospects like in a holding place. So what some of my coaches will do is the very first one will just say like interested. So that's going to be all of anybody who's interested in any of their groups. So like say somebody's interested in 2B and Lift 4, and then what they'll do is you can actually create, and I can show you how to do this as well, create tags where it says what they're interested in. So then that way you know exactly what they're interested in. Let me make this smaller so I can work with this. So a way to do that is you'll just go over here and click add, and you can click tag, and I'll say, so then let me pull it over here, and you can just pull, oh, I hate when my computer does that. You can just pull it over so you can actually see it, but I'll leave it here for now. But say I'm going to create a new box, so I'm talking to myself. And then when I go over here, then you can type in like 2B. So now you have that option. And then say they're also interested in, so this just allows you to add different things. So they're interested in that and Lift 4. So you can do that as far as like if you have one group for all of your challengers or challenger prospects, I guess you'd say. And then the next one would be, let me click here. And the next one they usually say like contacted or sent message. And then right now we're doing like added them to sneak peek. So that's how we're kind of doing it, but whatever your flow is, so you can do that. Or sent third party, sent video. That's what I used to have, like sent video of the program, sent questionnaire, whatever it is that you do. Like, and right now, like we were talking about the Google Forms, like I would change this to sent Google Form. And so then I know that those people are in that stage. so that if I come back in here in 3 days and they're still in that stage and they haven't filled out the form yet, I know to follow up with them. If the people I've contacted haven't gotten, so the idea is you want to move them through the stages. So that's why I like this visual, because it's like, okay, I can see exactly how many people I have in each stage. So then that way I'm not losing anybody. Hold on, there's a chat. Let me pull it back up. A pipeline for all different programs or one big one for all. Personally, I've done, you can see over here, pipeline for every single one of them. So the way that my brain works is I like having a pipeline for people interested in that specific thing, that specific program. And then once they commit, I'll add it to a different pipeline. So like To Be Mindset, these are all of my people who were interested in To Be Mindset. But once they, like, you'll see that she hasn't moved the boxes yet. But once they purchased, I put them in here, and then you can select them all and move them to the other pipeline. So my other pipeline is our Project to Be Free, which is our actual group. And then this is how I keep track of them as far as like their results and, you know, my coaching to them. So added to group, welcome email, and then each check. So right now we're just on weekly check-ins with everybody, and it's just so easy for me to just click here and email them all.
Brooke, are you doing this all on your computer? Is this does this work on a phone at all? Is that for people that are more mobile?
It does. So right now, and this is why I haven't been using the Streak as diligently this last month with a newborn, because everything has been on my phone. But just this last week, I started using it again on my phone, and they've actually updated it, and it's really awesome. But yeah, it's all editable on your phone. You can access everything, and they've updated it. It used to not be so user-friendly, but now it's really great. It's just Streak. You download on your phone, and you can still move people. I'm pretty sure you can't mass email everybody. I haven't gotten to that part yet. But you can at least do the mass emails from here. And I would suggest doing it from your computer anyway, just because like it might look funny on your phone. Because I've noticed sometimes when I send an email from my phone, it's like some of the words are bigger, letters are bigger than others and things like that. Let's see. Becca said, oh wait, let me make sure I go up here. Is the response rate good with people actually getting your emails and responding? Yes, so I feel like my response rate has been really good through email. But I will be honest, I use Facebook Messenger a lot more now. So, you know, a lot of people are like, I don't want to use Streak because I don't have email, or I don't want to use, don't want to email them. Well, I don't typically do that either. Like, I don't get their email sometimes until they've joined my group. So it's really good for like check-ins and stuff. But right now what I'm doing too is I'm asking their email as one of the questions in the sneak peek group as well. So in my personal one, just so I have that information right away. But I kind of went back to Facebook Messenger because I had noticed when I was moving them to email too quickly, like I was like, oh, fill this out. And just linking that. And this might not be an issue for people who are on Instagram or don't care about Facebook engagement, but I was noticing my engagement was horrible. But what I noticed was when I started having those conversations actually on Facebook again, those people who I was in contact with who were interested were seeing so many more of my posts. So I didn't want to move that conversation to email too quickly. So right now, the initial conversations, like a lot of the people in like my Lift 4 holding places, like added to sneak peek, like I'm not communicating with them through email right now. They're still on Facebook, and I probably won't communicate with them through email until after their purchase at this point. But what's nice about it is, you know, if you want to follow up with them, like you can always grab their email, you know, if they said no, or if it's not the right time and stuff like that. So let me pull this back up. They need to get that email list built, so I think it's a good push. Yes. So, and that's really important too, because I mean, the other day Instagram was like kind of acting wacky, and then, you know, there's been days where Facebook has been wacky. Like I'm a big proponent of helping our coaches establish their business, like an actual true business outside of Facebook, so that if for some reason something happens, they have all these people's contacts. Like, I mean, I know that we'll have our customer contacts through Beachbody, but what about, I mean, I have thousands and thousands of contacts in here. I would die if I lost these people somehow. Let's see. Question, what could my assistant do in terms of uploading clients' leads, et cetera, to pipelines? I want to delegate that part out, but I feel confused on how and what to delegate. So one of the easiest things is if you're sending like a form, just telling them, hey, any form that comes in, I want you to create a box for them, and then I want you to email them the first whatever, or I want you to message them the first this, or add them to the sneak peek, because that at least gets the first chunk of it done. And then I don't think I could ever replace the conversations back and forth, the forming part. It's just, I've tried it and it didn't work well. It's actually a disaster. So I just don't want to replace that part. So I think anything with anything that you're sitting there and you're like, this is a time suck. For me, that's once people have filled out the forms, getting all their information there. Or one huge thing right now, like I have a lot more people interested in Lift 4 than 18. But there were so many people, and the last few days have just been crazy with my toddler and newborn. I was not able to put them all in here. So it'd be so easy for me to be like, hey, can you go to my post and message them all and then put them in here? Because that part I'm still behind on. Becca, I think you asked something, so I thought Streak was all email based. This looks like it's more database. Does someone have to be emailing you to add them to pipeline? Nope. So you can absolutely add them without that. And since you work a lot from Instagram, there's actually a Zapier app connection that I was telling you about that I actually turned it off, but I'm going to turn it back on. But you'll see Instagram connections. It automatically, whoever followed me, it will add them into this group or add a box for them with their Instagram handle name, and then their real name is over here typically. So you can actually do that if you're like big on Instagram. So as soon as you get a new follower, Zapier connects it to your streak and they will show up here. So then it makes it really, really easy for me to go in here and be like, okay, I need to follow up with these people. And then you can see like connect number 2, and connect number 2, 3. That just means like going onto their page, liking their posts, commenting, blah, blah, blah. Those are great things for your assistant too. Like, hey, here's a list of all these people. And once they're in a different stage, like say I put this person in, let me move this person to like connect number 2. So if I go to that stage, I always add in the magic columns and then go to date last updated. And so this will tell me like when I moved them from stage to stage last. So if this said like, of course, June 26, 2017, like I said, I shut this off. But if this said June or whatever, a few days ago, I could tell my assistant, like anything that's past 3 days, can you go ahead and go connect with all those people? And so it makes it really easy, and then they'll move it to the next stage and they'll say, okay, we're on connect number 3 with this person. And so then by that time I know like I've connected with that person enough to be comfortable inviting them. That's just kind of how my brain works with this. But also there's guys, and I don't want to go too far into this because there's so many amazing features of Streak, but you can go up and like, I don't want to confuse anybody, but you can go in here and create saved views. So like you can choose a column. So choose a column. So anytime, so for example, if you have not updated anybody within 3 days, you can save that view and just click on it over here. It'll be saved underneath one of your, like if in Lift 4, for example, I could go and create a saved view of anybody who has not moved a stage in 3 days. So then it'll be right underneath here and I can just click it and it'll list everybody and I can easily follow up with them. So I don't even have to go through all this. The other things that you can do with that are, we were talking about creating the boxes. Like if you didn't create them, or creating the pipelines, if you didn't create them specifically for every single program or group you're doing, you can actually go back and, click who was interested in Lift 4 with that tag, and it will bring up everybody who's interested in Lift 4. So then you don't have to sift through anything, if that makes sense. Sorry, there's a lot of questions coming in. Let's see. And I don't know if you guys know this too, but one of the biggest features of Streak is, and what I love about it, especially now, is I have to be a night owl now because my kids, like I can't do a whole lot, but you can actually schedule your messages to be sent. So as soon as my challenge group is set up, I can easily set up the next 5 check-in emails to all of my challengers. So it's like done. If you're working in the middle of the night and you don't want to accidentally wake your customers up and tick them off at 1 a.m., you can send it out tomorrow morning. And that's these little features down here. And then of course snippets. So you can very easily click, you've got all of that fun stuff. And then put their email in, send. So you can see how easy, like for my challengers who are in my actual, my weekly check-ins, I just click here. It's not working because my internet is so slow, but I click here and then you'll see, let me go, where is it? There it is. So you'll see start mail merge with checked boxes. And as soon as you click on that, it'll bring up all of their emails and then you choose your snippet and you send. So it's like crazy. And so for me, what I do and how I utilize this is and this is why I personally like having all of the challenge groups that I do in their own little thing, because I can see everybody I've worked with. So I know that I have all these people in my to be free group right now. And so for these people, I can easily click and send and say, are you interested in Live 4? Send them some information. If I was trying to do this from one box, like of challenger prospects or customers and things like that, I just feel like it would be all over the place. So this helps categorize it more, but I can also go back to like my free coffee challenge. Like I had 740 people that have been interested in that over the times that I've ran this. I can easily go in here and I call it invite to next group. So the next group that I have, click invite. And a lot of those people, I do have their emails because I had them fill out a form. So I have emails for all those people. Now with Google, just keep in mind, I think you can only send up to, I think they increased it to 1,000. I'm not positive, but I only send about 200 to 300 a day. I do blitz inviting. I don't do 5 a day. That's just not how I work. I blitz invite to a group that's going to start soon. And that's how I've always done it. And then you can see how easy it is for me to go through here and go to my past group. So my February challenge group, I've got, some people I need to invite to the next group and then people who are actually in the group. And then let's see, go to my Shakeology leads. So you'll see invite to next group. So when I put that there, that means like I've actually had some sort of interaction with them, but a lot of them, as we know, sometimes we don't get a lot of interaction with. But once I interact with them, I usually move them to a different pipeline once they're interested in something. And then of course your coaches, like you can go in and do the stuff with your coaches too, which I haven't been updating this as much as I would like, but it makes it really easy. You can see what I have up here. Like I'm mentoring these people one-on-one right now. I'm my downline mentors. These people aren't doing crap, but said they were going to discount coaches and stuff like that. I don't want like names to show if in case this video goes somewhere. That's the only problem. Okay, so are you having to manually create a new file for each person from Messenger? I'm confused on how that works as data tracking if you're not getting emails. Yeah, so that's what so let me go to that one that we created. Where was it? Let me exit out of here. Sorry guys, I know that it's all over the place, but I think it's easier to do the, I don't know where it went. Well, anyway, I'll show you how to create a new box. So say somebody's interested, you just create a box. You have their name. You don't have to have their email or anything like that yet. Duplicate box, of course. But that's really nice too. That's why I love this too, because by the time I'm sure you guys are working with people and you're like, I don't know if this person is a customer or not. You can easily go up here and be like, okay, I've actually worked with this person before. And then whenever you click on that person, you have all of the different times. So like you can see all the way back 2 years ago, she was interested in, I can usually figure out what they were interested in. And then it shows up any emails that I've had with that person. It'll pop up any files that we've shared between each other. And then all of their information over here as well. So you have, and this is a lot of information. You guys don't need to do that in depth. I'm just like, I really like having a lot of their stuff in there. And then Becca, what you can do is like, as you're progressing, like if you want to follow up with this person, you can create follow-ups. Like you can, in 2 days, remind me, if they say, hey, I'm going to purchase on this day when I get paid, you can create a follow-up for you to remember to check in with them, because I wouldn't remember. Or in 1 week or in 1 month, invite this person to a challenge group because they're not ready right now. So it does all that for you, which is awesome. You can create tasks for them. So like, I need to do this with this person, and you can put a due date on it. There's just so many different things that you can do with this.
When you do that, Brooke, how does it remind you?
You will get up here, see streak upcoming. It'll pop up over here. So I cleared out my tasks today, but it would show up over there. So let me just show you what it would look like if I did that. So if I created and I'll say in 1 week. So then what will, and if it gets done, you can mark it as complete, but you'll see it over here. And so you always have like those in order of when they're due. But you can
I love that.
Yeah, but you can also create the tasks now without having to even have a due date. So invite to coach. You can go ahead and create it. Oh, I think I actually didn't create it as a task. Whoops. So maybe I did. No, I didn't create it as a task. You have to click on task. And then post. Maybe I did create it. Whoops. So you'll see it over here. And no due date, but I know that it's there. And you can put a due date over here. And then you can separate, I don't know if you saw this, but you can also separate it by pipeline. So if you're wanting to see all the coach prospects that you meant to invite, maybe you didn't, you can do that as well. But that's been super helpful for me. And I don't know if that is, I think you can have up to 40 if you are not paying for it, or maybe it's 10. I can't remember. They may have changed it. But I pay for the upgraded version of Streak because it's just so valuable to my business that it's just silly not to. So I definitely do. But one of the biggest reasons I love it is this contact card here, because like honestly, guys, when I typed in Lindsay and Damon Smith, and when this came up, I can't even think of who that is. So for me to be able to go back through here and see like any communications that we've had or any notes that I've done really helps me out. And I'll typically put like, how did I find them? Where did they come from? And that's good for your own tracking to see like, okay, is this like page working? Or is this ad working? By the way, those of you guys who do like page ads, you can actually, I'll show you how to do this. Integrations. I don't do Facebook ads anymore. Again, trying to do duplication with my team, but I know people do. You'll see down here, it says create new boxes on Streak for new Facebook leads, lead ads, leads. So it will actually, if you set that up, if somebody fills out or does something with your Facebook ad, it will automatically add them to your Streak. It'll create a box for them and everything based on categories that you want. Go back in here and make sure. Okay. Another question, do you use this for coach trainings? Can you show us your coach tab? I don't use this for coach training. As far as like, so for the coach tab, I honestly just do, and I used to, whenever I was sending email trainings, I absolutely did, like email number 1, email number 2, and it automatically sent out the emails based on what day it was. But I found out like if people got behind, they were getting those emails every day, and so they kind of felt overwhelmed. So instead I turned that part off, and I just sent them the emails. But right now I'm actually finding like just mentoring. I was talking to Nikki about this today, like actually mentoring my coaches instead of training them is working a lot better right now. And giving them the simple step. Our training is literally like, you signed up, set up your websites. Here's how you sign someone up using BB links and your share cart. And what program are you interested in, sharing about? Usually it's whatever we've been doing, of course. So I'll say, okay, let's create a little landing page for you, or a private group. Like, guys, I had a brand new coach sign up. I'm kind of going off track here, and I'm sorry, but I just want to show you this really fast, because I had a brand new coach. She is so clueless, guys. Like, I hope she never sees this, but she's clueless. And she made a post, and it was the most horrible new coach post that you could have, like as far as visually. But in the coach post, and I was like, this is actually brilliant. She said, instead of saying I signed up to be a Team Beachbody coach or sign up to be a health and fitness coach, she said, I've been doing a program that's really changed my life, and I plan to get certified in it in a couple months. And I would love to help some of you guys do this with me. She had not only, people get interested really fast, like so fast, I could not help her have conversations with these people or say, okay, go through all this training and then you can know how to contact them. Like we had to think of something really fast. So I'm like, create a group. Let's put them all in there and I will help you like sell to these people. But what ended up happening is she had coaches signing up because she's like kind of in the fitness world a little bit and they wanted to get certified for 2B. So she had like coaches signing up and she went Emerald in a day. And so she has all of her people in here and her posts are not great. You look, they're horrible, honestly. But it's working. And she got like a ton of Success Club points last month. Of course, I signed her up under my husband when I need these people for Elite, but to whatever. And so she actually had her like son go live in here. She just she shares a lot of recipes. I went live in there and shared my story. So her and her daughter, did their pancake recipes. So for us, this is working really well for people, for our new coaches. Like make your new coach post and then we'll see what happens. Like instead of predicting what's going to happen. And if they get a ton of people, it's like, okay, let's do this or set up, what we were talking about, like the Google form. Love it. Okay. They also pop in your inbox and remind you every day until you complete it. Yes, the task box, the tasks do. I'm sorry, there's so much information with this, you guys, that it's almost impossible. I just wanted to show you the stuff that you can't find on YouTube, I hope. Because Becca, there's like, I can talk to you one-on-one with this as well, because it's overwhelming if you're trying to, talk to a bunch of people with this. But you can absolutely, we can get on a one-on-one and do this. When you do a mail merge, it asks you, once you merge and before you send, you have an option to just select individual names. Yes. So, okay. Love the group idea. It can be like replacing your free group and she can just give tips in here. Yes. And this is great for new coaches because she was really nervous to go live on her personal page or share much about her journey yet. So she was like, I feel really comfortable in this group sharing this. So it's really just kind of a community group, I guess you'd say, but it was more based on 2B. And so I shared my journey and I explained like who I was. And then I also said, Robin's pretty new at this, but you're so lucky to have her because she is so passionate about helping you guys. And I'll be here too. So if you're interested in signing up and getting certified in this course as well, or helping other people around you, we can do this together and you can create a group just like this. And so that's when her people were like, hey, I want to coach because they see that how easy it is. Like just set up a group and I'll help you. And it doesn't take any of my time to go in there and go live. Like that wasn't difficult. She shared going to Super Saturday into the group, like with her husband. So just a lot of, and we shared the exact same stuff that we shared in our own sneak peek, but she got to customize it. Like, she's like, I don't want to share that video. I'd rather share this one. And this is her son. So her son, like she couldn't share that on her personal page. She doesn't want to, but she felt really comfy sharing it here. And I thought that was awesome because her son's lost 18 pounds now and he's 13. And he went live into the group. So it's been really fun. And that way she can add people in here and they can check it out. And you guys can unmute yourselves because I think I'm missing messages.
Yeah, no, hey, Brooke.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and find a way to put a bow on it. This has been incredible. We're a bit over time, so we're losing people, and I want to make sure that we were honored the time that I had given you as well. So, man, there is like you get inside the seam in this, and then it opens up like a cave or something. It's like, whoa, you could do this and this and that.
Yeah, and that's why it's so hard to do a call or teach on it because
teach on marketing because you can.
Yeah, just so you guys know, just go to YouTube and there will be, like, if you type in Google Streak for Beachbody, there will be a million different trainings, but people have broken it down to like how to upload all your Beachbody contacts from Beachbody into your Gmail and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think what I would say, and again, big thanks to Brooke for showing us this, and I think there were a lot of epiphanies made today. Is whatever, and you said it right in your message, Brooke. Like however your brain works, it seems like there's enough flexibility in this system that you can customize it to a way that will make sense for you, that will help you get organized. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, the key is to stay true to the BAT activities, the business activity tracker stuff that will help you, at the end of the day, be more effective and productive in the basics. And, and that's what this is all about. Choose the format, choose the platform, that helps you to do this. Any other final comments or things that you guys want to make?
I wanted to tell Becca, I know you do pen and paper. A lot of my coaches do too. So they'll do pen and paper, and then later they'll take it back to Streak and add it into Streak, or an assistant's great for that. Just send them a picture of it and say, hey, can you add this into my Streak?
Put this in. I love it. So cool. All right. Brooke, thank you again for sharing that. You guys, I will get this recording link up in our thread. And again, Brooke, just sure appreciate you taking the time to go over this. I know that this is part of the business that I don't really get to see a lot. So my mind has been blown, and I'm thinking like in 3 different aspects of my life that I can use this.
I used it for wedding planning.
Phenomenal. Yeah, I know. I'm like, holy cow, I could totally do that with this and that. So thank you. This was phenomenal for me. I appreciate it. All right, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.